Okay, so we were inside a urs.py file, and what we did over here is that we included this module called include from django.url, and that we specified that if a path, that is block, comes into a picture, that is, suppose we did slash blog and then say slash read or slash details, then anything that starts after a blog should call this blog's url. Okay, this is not a function, this is what we are telling our root app, is that suppose a blog a blog path is encountered, then include all the urls or go to the urls that are present inside this app called blog. Okay, and what was going wrong was actually we left this urs.py inside a blog empty, that therefore it was not able to locate it. But now I created an empty url pattern inside this urs.py, and I am currently into my app blog, and inside that this urls.py file that we just created. Okay, and here we can give a completely different sets of path that we want our application to be accessible. Okay, inside our app, what urls do we want? Suppose I want a url that says, now I am suppose inside a home. Okay, and this is going to give me again a home page, but now make sure you are inside your app. Okay, now you are not dealing with your root directory, these are all the urls that are going to be accessible inside your app. Okay, so I am again doing the same, that is, this path will if a home path is encountered, then call a home page. Okay, and I'm going to write this function home page inside my views folder. So let's create that. This is again going to handle request similarly, and just return, we need to include http first. And we can just write this is the home page of blog app. Okay, so now what's happening is that we are telling we need to first import this function from views. Okay, so now we are ready with our first page inside our blog, or that is the app. So now what we are doing, we are telling our root directory, that is the root app. Inside that we are telling, suppose a blog is encountered, then include all the urls that are present inside blogs.url, and inside blogs.url what we did, we created a url called home. Okay, so let's see this in action, that would be much better. Okay, I am currently, my server is running, so again python manage.py run server, and if I go to this, okay, so currently we don't have any empty url, right? We just have slash home, and yesterday we created slash contact. Okay, so this is what we created yesterday, home and contact. But now I don't want home or contact, I need my blog. Okay, so now what I told to my root directory, suppose a blog is slash blog url is encountered or slash blog path is encountered, we need to include the urls that are present inside our blog app, and inside our blog app we created a url for home. Okay, so slash blog slash home should give us blog home. Okay, again some problems there. Okay, so this slash was missing over here because we have a url in front of this, right? So slash blog slash home, and we have successfully rendered our first app, that is, this is a home page from blog app. Okay, so now what's happening, we are telling that if I encountered a blog path, include the urls that were present inside this blog. Okay, so now this home url is present inside my app, but I am telling my root URL that if a blog path is encountered, afterwards if you encountered any other path, then include all the URLs that were present inside this app statement. Okay, but if I only do /home, this will render the home page from the root directory or the root app. But if I do /blog/home, this is going to render out the page that was written inside the blog app. Okay, so this is how you can render pages from your apps. All you need to do is give one base URL, that is base URL was blog, and after blog, suppose I do home, I can do contact, I can do details and all of that after this blog, and then all the pages will be rendered from your app, not from your root directory. Okay, so let's try to create more URLs inside this. Let's try to create what you can do here, about. Okay, and this will give me a function about page, which is coming again from views. First we need to write it over here. It is going to again handle a request and then return HTTP response. This is the about page of the blog app. Okay, so it is that simple. Now what we need to do to access this about page, we can't directly give out this /about path, okay, because this about is inside our app. So in order to write it, we need to give /blog/about. So let's try to do that. So if I refresh this place, I was in /blog/home, but now if I do /blog/about, this should give me, this is the about page of blog app. Okay, so this is how your app basically works. You can have multiple apps and you can create multiple URLs inside each individual app, and make sure you give the base URL. Okay, this blog was the base URL, and afterwards I can give the URLs from the blog app, but you need to have a base URL, that is the blog. Okay, so now this was the URLs from your blog page, blog app, and then inside your root urls.py you specified that if a blog that is base URL is encountered, include the URLs from blog app. Okay, so any doubt till here? How we can create app, how we can create URLs for an app, and how we can link those URLs to the base URLs. All clear? Okay, the command for creating app was just python manage.py start app and the app name. Okay, so now how we can render out templates inside our app. Okay, similarly as yesterday what we did, we just inside our views folder, instead of returning HTTP response, we rendered HTML pages, right? So let's try to render HTML pages here. So return render request and then the page name, right? But currently the page is not inside our root template directory, it is inside the template directory of our app. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to give blog home page. Okay, so now what I'm telling is go to this blog directory and inside that check for HTML homepage.html. So where is this blog directory? It is over here, templates and blog. So inside this I need to create a HTML page, homepage.html. Okay, so now this views folder know where to find this HTML page. Now this views file know where to find this homepage.html. It is inside this folder blog, and we have created this blog folder inside template, so it already know this is a template. Okay, so let's create this again similarly just give an exclamation mark and hit enter. This will create a empty HTML page for you, and we can just render out h1. This is home page of the okay. So basically this is what we did all this time. And if we go again to our home page of the blog, that is /blog/home, we should get that HTML page. Okay, so now we are getting this HTML page saying that this is the home page of blog app. Fine. Similar thing you can do with the what was the second function, the about page. Okay, so we are not concerned about about page right now. That was just an example. Okay, so next thing also we can do is that we can create bootstrap and all of that over here. That we'll do when we'll create the actual blogging app. But make sure that till here everything is clear. What we did, we created an app called blog. Inside that we were not having urls.py file and templates folder. So we created urls.py, we created template folder. Inside template folder we created this blog folder, and inside blog we created this HTML page. Next thing what we did, after creating this complete blog, we went to our root directory. Inside our root project we went to settings.py. In settings we installed this app blog, and then in URLs we connected the URL of blogs with the base URLs that was provided by the root directory. Okay, so this complete flow is clear to everyone, how we create a blog and connect it with the root directory. Okay, and this is how we access it, by giving the /blog and then the URLs of the blog app. Okay, so I guess apps in Django is clear to everyone. What basically apps are, those are just the modules, individual modules, and each module will have its own set of functions, own set of URLs and its own templates. Okay, so that is just the creating apps in Django. And next thing we'll see is that what are models in Django. Okay, so we know that models is the fourth important file into our app, right? We saw what are views, we saw what are URLs, we saw what are templates, and then there is models. So what basically models are? Models are the database tables written in the form of Python classes. Okay, each model inherits a special class in Django called models.model. Okay, so what basically a model is? Model is just a Python class which will have some fields. Okay, and that field represent each individual column or each individual table inside your database. So currently I, for an example, have created a class blog. Okay, this blog has some attribute called title, body, date, image and views. Okay, and at the backend what Django does is Django will convert this class into a table inside a database, and that table will have these columns that we write as an attribute of the class. Okay, so I imagine that class and database are both very new concepts to you guys, but what a class is, basically a class will contain some attributes and some functions. Okay, it is like a complete package itself. It will have some attributes mean just values, okay, and variables. So here suppose I am creating a model called blog. That blog will have a title, a body, a date, a image and the number of views that blog has. Okay, so this is a class. What Django does, it will take this class and it will convert it into a table inside a database, and that table will have all the values. Okay, suppose I create a blog, that blog will be filled inside the first column. Suppose I create another blog, that will be filled inside this row. So this is how a table inside database looks like, and inside a Python code this is how a model will look like. We'll just create a class, give it some attributes, and it will automatically be converted into a table in database. So this is called models in Django. Fine, so let's create a model so it will be more easy to understand. Okay, let's try to create a model. and we know that model is only specific to a particular app. We don't have models file inside our root project. We have models file into our app, and once you have created this app, you know that there is this models.py that comes automatically. We don't have to create it. Okay, so now let's create this model. So how we can create a model? Okay, I told you that models are just Python classes, and class in Python are written with a keyword called class. Okay, the keyword class tells that you are writing a class, and then this class will have a name. Let's give it a name called blogs. Okay, this is a class which has a name blogs, and it is going to inherit. By inheritance I mean that this models.model class is written already by Django, and we are just implementing it inside our class called blog. Okay, so we'll be talking more about inheritance later, but just know that inheritance means this is a class which is already written somewhere in Django server, and we are just calling it inside our blogs class. Okay, so now what should this class contain? This class will contain all the attributes that we want our blog to have. So what can the attributes that a blog have? A blog will have a title. Okay, it will have a body, and let's say it for now we'll put a date on it. Okay, let's create only 3 attributes for now: title, body and date. Okay, and with that we need to tell Django that what is the type of this attribute. Okay, so type of this attribute is mentioned using models dot char field. So now what char field is? This is basically a field inside our table which tells Django that what type of value we need to store inside this title. Okay, and title means character field. Okay, we are going to store string. So strings are basically stored using char field, and char field takes a parameter that is max length. So what is the maximum length of your title should be? I'll say 100 characters. Okay, so this is how you create a attribute inside a class in Django. That is, you give it attribute name, then you say models, and then what type of data that you need to store inside your title. Okay, title equal to models.char field and max length equal to 100. So now body is also equal to models, but this time it is not a char field, it is a text field. The difference between char field and text field is that char field is just a string with a limited number of characters, and that is say 100 characters, but a char field is a text field is of unlimited length. That is, you can store any used body or description, and all of that stuff is stored in the text field. Okay, and for date we have a special field, models dot date field, and I'm going to give it a property auto now equal to true. Okay, so now what's happening over here is that this, as soon as I create a blog, whatever is the current date, that will be assigned to this attribute. Okay, so that is how you create a model in Python or a model in Django. You write a class, you inherit it from models.model class, then you give out all the attributes that you want, and to each attribute you specify what type of data you need to store by using the fields: char field, text field, date field. There are number of various type of fields. Okay, there is image field, then there is various type of fields, like you can find them in Django documentation if you visit Django website. So for now we'll be using only char field, text field and date field. That will create a title, body and date. Okay, so if I save this, so now what's happening is my blog is ready. That is, my database table is ready. I am now able to fill this data. Okay, so now how can we fill this data inside this blogs? So first thing we need to do is that we need to migrate this. Okay, and I'll just quit this and show you how you can migrate a database. What basically migration means is that migration will take this class. Okay, migration will take this class, convert it into tables, convert it into database, and create that table inside a database. Okay, here you can see that a class is converted into a table. Okay, because in database you always have tables, right? Like these tables are there, and then these values are filled by using by taking values from user. So now what migration does for you is that it will migrate a class into a table. Okay, it will migrate a class into a table. So now how we can do migration? We don't have to actually care for this table. It is done by Django himself. What we need to do, we just have to tell Django that please create this table for us. So how can we do that? We'll do Python. Everything is done by manage.py. So Python manage.py make migrations. So make migrations is a command to create this table. Okay. So when I hit enter, okay, here you can see create model blog. Okay. So now we have successfully created this model called blog. So this is giving us an error saying your URL pattern. Okay, that is just a warning. It is telling that this URL is having a slash. Okay, doesn't matter. Fine. So now we have successfully created this blogs. Okay. Now we need to save this table, and in order to save this table into our database, we have another command which says Python manage.py migrate. Okay, now we just created this table. Okay, by make migration we created this table, but we need to save this into a database. Okay, so to save this table into a database, what we need to do, we need to do Python manage.py migrate. Migrate will save this database. So if I hit enter, this is going to apply all the migrations to the database, and now you don't have to actually know what this stuff is. It is just all the backend stuff. But the two commands to create a database table is that first you need to write this class, then you need to run the command Python manage.py make migrations, and after the table is created you need to save it inside database using the command Python manage.py migrate. Okay, now actually if I go to my database and see for the table, I am going to see a table that is blogs. Fine. So is it clear to everyone? Go to your models.py folder. Okay, models.py file. There create a class called blogs, inherit it from models.model and create 3 attributes to it, or I'll say 3 fields to it. Okay. So this is how you create models in Django. That is, you write a class, then you migrate it into a table that is stored inside your database. Now you can store various blogs sequentially into this table. Okay, is this till here it is clear? Any doubt till now? Okay, so I hope you guys are following along, and now the next thing we need to see, okay, once this is created, all the models are created, tables are created, now we need to check if how we can fill data into this. Okay, and in order to fill data into this, we need to first register our app with the admin module. Okay, I'll be talking about admin module in a short, but here you can see there is a file called admins.py. Okay, so now what admin means? Admin means the owner or the manager or the controller of your app, right? Because you will be the admin of your app. So in order to do that, Django provides a special controlling page, that is admin page. And if you go to your root directory, inside that in the urls.py, the first thing we'll see is that there is a admin URL already given to us by Django. We haven't created this admin URL, right? So if we go to admin URL, we'll be seeing this admin site. So let's check that out. Let's go to, okay, before that we need to run our server, right? We quit the server. For that, let's run the server again. Panish.py run server. Okay, so now once the server is running, what you need to do, go to our slash admin, and this will take you to this page, that is Django administration. Everything into your project you can control it